I am so grateful to have this opportunity to sit with someone I met about 16 years ago now, I think. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
In 2010?
Think so.
Tony Beliveau. Tony, there's something about you that stood out to me. I met you all those years ago in New York City. I was working at Z100, and you were, at that time, in a rock band called Crash Kings.
Correct.
And you had such a cool song that rock radio was playing. It's, I'm sipping on some sunshine. Well, why don't you do it? Because it's your song. Go ahead. How does that sound? Just a little piece. By the way, I should say that Tony is sitting in front of his piano. He is in Australia right now. And we reconnected, and we're going to get into all this and why we're connected and why we're talking here. But what kind of piano you have there?
I just have a Yamaha U1 from 1970.
Just give me that one line with the piano chord.
So like the beginning is...
Yeah.
I'm sipping on some sunshine. I'm gonna leave it for the morning in the afterlife.
Yeah.
And she's drunk by the daytime. That kind of thing.
I love it. And so when that song came out, it just so happened, I was listening to it on rock radio, and it was interesting because all these awesome opportunities to do interviews in New York City would pop up every other day. And somebody knocked at my door and said, hey, the Crash Kings are in town. They're touring. Would you do an interview? And at that time, I was just looking to interview literally anyone, but I also happened to be a fan. So you were there in the studio, and I interviewed so many people over those years, and you always stood out to me because you seemed like a guy who wasn't caught up in all the showbiz glitz and glamour. Like, you just seemed like a guy who cared about music, wanted to make great songs, and you just seemed like a normal human being, and I always liked that about you, and we kind of stayed in touch. And
We did.
I actually started to almost annoy you, where I was like, hey, when's your next album coming out? And I would like reach out to you and say, Tony, what's the deal? When's the next Crash Kings album going to come out?
Wasn't annoying.
Well, but then you invited me to this show, and it was right around the time I met my wife, Jess, and we met you in Atlantic City, and you were playing with, I think, Stone Temple Pilots, right, at that time?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And then we sort of lost touch, and one day I was like, I got to reach out to Tony and see what he's up to. And then you and I get on the phone and we catch up for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it was like we were old friends. And I was like, man, that guy was cool. I was right. Like, he definitely is just this normal, down-to-earth guy.
My kids definitely don't think I'm cool.
Yeah, well,
And,
I'm trying to convince my kids that I'm very cool. And they sort of believe me.
I think you're cool, by the way.
Thank you, Tony. I appreciate it. But we've had a lot of life happen on both sides over all these years. And I'm, first of all, glad to be reconnected with you. You're about to start a podcast, and you asked, like, is there anything we can do with the radio show to help promote that? And I was like, well, you know what? Why don't you sit in front of your piano and let's just have a chat and a catch up, talk a little bit about what your podcast is about. So thank you for doing this.
Thank you for having me. And thank you for the kind words. I really, really appreciate that. I'm not sure how nice of a guy I really am. I know that I'm nice to most people who haven't known me for a while, but people who know me for a while think I'm maybe not so nice. Not true. Maybe just my ex-wife, but
Well,
anyway.
Tony, we'll keep our relationship short then.
No. I actually no.
We'll keep it to the rest of this interview, and it'll be nice knowing you. And then I'll always have great memories about you.
No, I also had great memories with you and meeting you, and you definitely stood out as. I mean, I went to a lot of radio stations. I went to probably all the alternative rock radio stations. I mean, we did. Universal put us through the ringer, and which was great, and that's how we got Mountain Man to #1 on the Billboard charts. But you definitely stood out as well, and I'm very grateful for staying in touch with you because you're the only DJ that I did stay in touch with, and I think there's a reason for that.
Thank God for that. So listen, you're sitting in front of your piano, and thank you for saying that. First of all, you went to Berkeley. I lived in Boston for a lot of years. That was like this. You could go to that area. There was Wally's Jazz Cafe, I think, and you would see these amazing jazz musicians. And so here you are in front of the piano. Did you study jazz and all those chords and everything?
I did study jazz. Yeah, very intensely.
So you're in Australia right now.
Yeah.
Could you
I'm just outside of Melbourne, Australia.
Just on the fly, can you sing something about a kangaroo for me? You can keep it short, but something about a kangaroo And make it jazzy.
In the jazz style?
Yeah.
I was driving along the road and I saw a kangaroo. And I thought, gosh, does this guy want to ruin my day? Please don't ruin my day. I don't want to hit you now.
Wait, so do you have kangaroo in Australia like we have deer here in the States?
Same thing. Yeah, they're everywhere. Yeah, and you just literally, I was riding with my friend. He came and visited me, and I go, man, every time I see a kangaroo, I go, please don't ruin my day. Because if you hit a kangaroo, you have to get out. You have to check if it has a joey. You have to do all those things. You have to call a number.
A joey like a baby?
Yeah, baby kangaroo.
Wait, if you hit a mom kangaroo, then can you like play with the joey, or would the joey be dangerous?
No, I guess you could technically. I don't know. I don't really know, man. There are plenty of places in Australia where you can pet kangaroos and wallabies, and you can actually and they're quite nice, and you can feed them and go right up to them, right? But in the wild, I don't know. You don't know the personality of a kangaroo, so you don't know what they're going to do. But you do have to call a number. Australians don't really look at kangaroos, especially out in the bush. They don't look at them as these like cute things. They kind of look at them as pests in a way.
That?
So,
and here, like in this,
yeah.
I've only thought great things about kangaroos until I met one. And
Same.
I was in America at this little pool area, and we were on a vacation, and there was this big alert that you get to meet a baby kangaroo today. So I was like, I'm going to wait in line for that. So I get in line with like 20 people. And when I met this baby kangaroo, they must have given it some sort of a drug or something, and it was not fun. It was very sad. So I'm glad that you have them running around in their natural habitat, and they're like alive and well, unless you hit one, of course.
And I never have, thankfully,
Good.
Not yet.
Well, let's keep that streak going. Now, if you did hit one and you did get to hold the baby, do you think you'd have could you sing a blues song about that?
A blues song about keeping...
It's sad that
holding?
That you hit the kangaroo, but there's a baby that you could play with in the pouch.
I'm so sorry that your mother died. Baby, 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 baby kangaroo. I'm so sorry that you're all alone now, and I wish I knew something to do. Before right now, I'm gonna hold you, baby, baby, baby kangaroo. I don't know. Is that good?
What are you? Why are you not still in a rock band? What is going on? What are you doing? What are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm hiding. I've been hiding. I feel like, it's weird. I think about this a lot of times. Like, why did I kind of just stop putting myself out there? And I think that I'm a much more private person than people may think. I'm like not really active on social media. I guess I'm gonna have to start to be now with Balls on the Table coming out.
Okay, and by the way, that's the name of your podcast. We'll get to that, but go ahead, continue.
Yes. And so, and I don't post of my kids, and I don't post my private life, and I don't think that my life is extraordinary, and that's just me. And I don't have anything against other people who do post and who are on social media, because I know that's just
some of my best friends post on social media. I would never want to say anything offensive. Go ahead.
That's right. And then also, like, having a band is hard. You have all these personalities. And so one thing that I have been doing that I am very excited about is I've really made an effort to get back into writing music for me, just for me. And also not like for the reason of, I want to be famous, or I want people to pay attention, and I want validation. I want people to tell me how great I am. I just have to do this. Like, I have this studio and I have all these keyboards and guitars and stuff, and I've been playing a lot more guitar, and I'm really excited, and I am committed after you and I had our 2-hour conversation about life and music and everything, and it's really kind of lit a fire under my ass, and I am going to release music this year. I am committed to doing that.
Tony, you just got to do what you do. And like even what you just did right now, I know we're sort of joking around with the kangaroo song and everything, but you got this thing where you stand out in such a magnificent way. And my wife, Jess, she sings. And, I was like, I'm talking to Tony again, and I played your song. And she's like, man, he really does sound good. You just got this, like, I don't know. I mean, we could sit here the whole time and I could tell you how you got to do music again.
That's an interesting thing because I've never liked my own voice, and I never thought it would ever be taken seriously. But you have such an amazing voice. I love when I hear you on your show. I'm like, oh man, that voice is silky smooth. And my voice is not silky. My voice is like this weird thing, and I don't know what happens when
So you decide you want to start a podcast, and that's really what we're here talking about today.
Yeah.
Why? Of all the billions of podcasts out there, what is the... So the podcast is called Balls on the Table.
Yes.
Tell me about this, why you wanted to start this, and how is this thing going to stand out amongst all of the... everyone and their mother has a podcast. And that's not an exaggeration. If I said everyone and their mother and their dad, then I'd be exaggerating. But everyone and their mother actually has a podcast. And maybe you could write a song about that right now. Go ahead. Everyone and their mom has a podcast. Go ahead. Now you have one too.
Everyone and their mother has a podcast. Everyone and their brother has a podcast. Why is that? I don't know. Why is that? Does everybody think that they're so important? I don't really know about that. I don't know. Is that good?
Okay, first of all, if your podcast is you making up songs on the fly, I'm listening to that every day.
There's going to be an element of that.
You have to work this into it all because it is true. There are so many podcasts, and how do you stand out? I'm so fortunate we get to be on the radio first, and then we put it on a podcast after the fact. But if you're starting a podcast, that's such a heavy lift, and it's just an incessant amount of content that you have to create. What is it that you're so passionate about that you're creating this podcast, and what's the best case scenario here?
So one of my longtime and one of my best friends, Evan Hart, and I were talking about putting a different kind of podcast together, and then we ended up with this format. And he was out to dinner with a really close friend. He was telling her that he and I talk about everything. We go into really deep stuff, vulnerable stuff. We open ourselves up. And she said, that sounds like something that really I haven't really heard that much, is men talking about guy things, and not in a bro-y way, but more of there's plenty of comedy to it. But we wanted to have a podcast that was a peephole into a man cave, if you will. And not without the alcohol, it's completely sober conversations about family, relationships that men have with other men, what's going on with younger men. And one of there's a podcaster and NYU professor, Scott Galloway, who really has struck a chord with me big time. And one of the things he likes to talk about a lot is what's going on with young men.
Yeah, I know Scott's work, actually.
Yeah, I love Scott's work as well, and I listen to him all the time. I listen to the Prof G pod. I listen to Pivot almost religiously on my drives from Melbourne out to my studio country house. But I was like, what if we just did a podcast that was just about talking about what men need and what they want, and really kind of going and diving in and going there. And so that was the impetus for starting this.
Tony, do you have friends that are guys that you're opening up with? Do you have those relationships?
Yeah, I do.
Well, I think it's so great that you see the value of speaking openly with another guy, because you're right. It is something for some reason, and I was in that boat for a lot of years where I had great friends and I love them, and I would always be a little bit guarded. And I have since made these friendships. My one friend in particular, Edgar, he's a guy who's also in radio, and he is such a blessing in my life because we have these open, honest conversations. He's helped to sharpen me, and he says I've helped to sharpen him, and it's this beautiful relationship. It's such a gift. There's no doubt that my life is better because I've trusted someone in that way, and it's been this slow thing. It's not like you just jump in and it's here's 1,000% right off the bat. It's this slow thing, a little bit at a time, and now years later, it's been a life-changing relationship. So if that's what you're encouraging in this podcast, then it sounds like something that is very valuable.
It is. And interestingly, I think about my relationships with women and why I at times have felt comfortable enough to be vulnerable and open, but other times when I wasn't, and why I feel like I can be even more open and honest and vulnerable with other men, with friends, with like really, really close friends. I just don't see how it's not worth it to be honest and open and give everything you've got when our life is so short. I just feel like when you let people in, they go, wow, I want to know more. I want to be close with this person. This person is making me feel comfortable. When you do that with someone, you unlock a thing with that person and it creates an even stronger bond. And that is so important. And I think a lot of that is missing. We talk about this a little bit on the show about meeting people. And like when I met you, I knew you were a good guy. I knew you were one of the good ones. And that's the thing. Like I knew when I get a feeling. So one of the things I like to talk about is when I meet someone for the first time, I just start everybody at a 10. And then once we have conversations, if they start mentioning things that I think are just not good or negative, or if they start talking bad about other people or that kind of thing, they kind of work their way down. And other people start everyone at a 0 and they have to prove themselves. I think there's different types of people.
It sounds like you have a gift of discernment is what you're describing, like
I don't know if it's a gift. I don't know if it's a gift.
So, okay, well, when you're just in your studio hanging out there, because I see on the in the background here, you've got an organ, you've got all kinds of cool instruments there. What do you do when you're just playing around and having fun on your piano? What do you go to? Like
I love the key of G and I love D flat. So there's I was playing this song, which is on our first record. I was playing it for someone and I was explaining the strings were done by David Campbell, who is Beck's dad. And it was one of the biggest honors to have his dad, who's done the string arrangements on many, many records. And then we had a song called Come Away. And it was interesting because this chord progression, I don't think is necessarily used that much, but it's come away on this winter's day. We're gonna ride again. Oh.
So you'll sing your songs.
So no, I won't sing those songs, but I do go to that key because that key is a really special, warm, sort of sharp key. And I remember that I wrote that song. Every time I think about that key, I think about that song. And I think about the experience of recording that song. So what I'll do is I'll sit down at the piano. And this is a song I'm sort of working on right now, but I never have lyrics. So I'm always mumbling nothing, because I just want to sing something. So there's and on these, it's on my mind. You will read it all the time.
So you have the melody you have a melody in your head.
So I go for the melody.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to.
So wait a minute. While you're doing that, are you recording?
Yeah.
And do you reference it back?
No, I won't. I won't record it. So the way I do it is if I have an idea and I'm oh, that's really cool, I'm going to put it on a voice note on my phone. I don't go microphones. I don't do anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. And then if I wake up in the morning and I have that song in my head, I go, okay, that's worth working on. And if I don't, and I kind of forget it, I just sort of go, next. I just move on. I don't really go I know that not everything I write is worth recording. So I only pick the ones that get stuck in my head because my thought is that if they stick in my head, maybe they'll stick in someone else's.
Tony, do you eat tinned fish?
No.
Have you ever had it?
Yeah.
You don't like it?
So my ex-wife is Polish or half Polish,
okay.
And her dad's from Poland. And I know we have the herrings on the pumpernickel during Christmas. Is it Christmas?
The reason why I ask is because I just started eating it. It was like a social media trend. Someone sent it to me, and I was like, wow, it's gross. It looks gross, but I've never actually tried it, so why would I judge it? And so I tried it, and I like that it fills me up. It's very convenient. It's a convenient food. So would it ruin your song that you're working on if you put some tinned fish lyrics to those mumbles? Whatever your personal feeling is about it.
Right.
By the way, this is why the big record labels don't invite me in with the rock stars because But since we're just hanging out.
So you want me to like to that same song? You want me to write about Tin Fish?
Yeah, just because I haven't heard a song about Tin Fish, it might stand out.
So, ooh, gross. I'm not gonna put that tin fish in my body one more time. I don't know, not one more time, but I'm not. Ew, gross. I don't. Oh yeah. Ew, gross. I don't wanna have anything to do with that tin fish. It's gonna turn me blue.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
I love that.
I did it.
That is so great. Yeah, that's cool. Well, I hope it doesn't ruin, because it sounds like a beautiful song in the making.
Thank you. It's an interesting thing. That chord progression is also, do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing? And it's the hook that brings you back.
Oh, interesting.
And it's also... It's like, so this chord progression is kind of widely used, and so Sally can wait.
Oh, yeah.
She knows it's too late as we're walking on by. So
that's
like
cool.
I love that like artists will use that chord progression. And so my whole thing was like, I want to see if I can write an original melody against that chord progression as the sort of main melody in a song.
Yeah.
And then work around that and come up with my own thing.
I love it. I love that you know all of that and you speak the language of music. If there's someone who like they dream of wanting to play and they're an adult and they're either afraid to fail or put the work in, do you have like a recommendation once you're past being a kid and you're not going to lessons anymore, your mom's not dropping you off at the piano teacher? Is there a way to learn music as an adult, and what do you think the best first step is?
There is a way to learn as an adult. However, it's like learning a language, which is a lot easier to do when you're a child. Learning a different language as a child is going to be a lot easier. There are people who can just learn languages. Is there a way to do it? It takes a level of obsession that is almost unhealthy.
Yeah.
You can't, like, you're never going to get good if this is just like I'm going to do this for like 20 minutes a day is just not enough.
Yeah.
You have to be, there is a reason why when I was at Berklee College of Music, why those piano rooms are padded, and they're not only for sound deadening. It's for when you want to bash your head against the wall because you're in there for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, it's so frustrating.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It is. It's so because you know what you want to do.
Yes.
You just can't. It's hard to bring it to fruition. And I also think I'm still not as good as I want to be. And that is another place where the obsession lies. Like, I'm never going to be as good of a songwriter. I've given up trying to be the best piano player. I know I'm not. I'm never going to be. I don't really care. I know what I know how to do, and now I'm obsessed with the song and how to craft a song.
Yeah, well, you're obsessed with the craft. You want to be a master of your craft, and I feel like that's a lifelong thing for anyone in any sort of performance.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, Tony, I appreciate you taking this time. It's so great to see you, and I just love what you do, and I'm excited for the day. I do feel like there's going to be a day where you're putting out music again and it's the way you want to do it. And I'm very excited to hear that because I think you've got so much music in you. You've got such an incredible gift in the way that you sound, the way that you play. And I'm ready for it. So, all these years later, I'm still telling you, put out more music. And I can't wait to hear what that is when the time is right.
For sure.
And then, of course, the whole reason we're talking is you got this new podcast.
Got this new podcast. It's hilarious, but we also really go there. And we've got great, great guests that a lot of people will recognize, some big actors. We have we're not claiming to be experts. That's another thing, right? Like our domain expertise isn't what men need and men want. We're just opening up the discussion and having conversations and trying to put everything out there, which essentially we're putting our balls on the table, which is why we call the show Balls on the Table.
Well, a beautiful name that you've chosen, and it's I'm excited to see what it turns into. Hold on, Tony, I'm so sorry. So my wife Jess just came.
I want to
I'm,
meet
I'm,
Jess.
I'm recording this at
Nice to
home.
hear it. Hi.
TJ
Good,
speaks
nice
so
to
highly
meet
of
you.
you. Nice to meet you too.
Oh, thank you.
Is there an emergency? Can you tell me what's going on?
First of all, I thought you were done. We're about to go to an event, and I'm baking cookies to bring to the event. And I always buy chocolate chips to bake chocolate chip cookies. And I go to grab the chocolate chips, and there's like 5 in the bag, and I haven't made any cookies since I bought the chocolate chips. And I'm just wondering where they all went.
I did have them after lunch. I ate them, but nobody
How
told
many
me.
did you eat?
It's a bag of chocolate chips. It was just a little snack.
TJ?
Yes.
How many chocolate chips did you eat?
No. Are you gonna write a song about this?
You're messing with the whole thing now. Now she can't make her chocolate chip cookies. Shut up.
Do you have?
She needs to make her chocolate chip cookies, and you need to listen to your wife because she's always right.
No.
Now it's just a cookie. It's just a cookie.
Do you have
No chocolate chips.
Ghirardelli chocolate chips in Australia?
I do not
Okay.
eat chocolate.
You don't eat chocolate?
I do, of course.
But you don't
not
eat a
like,
whole bag of chocolate chips, though?
I don't eat a whole bag of chocolate chips.
If you were making chocolate chips tonight, we should have gotten them at the store.
Every time I go in the kitchen, I see you. You put your hand, and I'm like, what are you doing eating the chocolate chips? I didn't know
They're
you were eating
good.
the whole bag.
Listen, you're embarrassing me in front of a rock star. Can you please stop?
Well, I mean, can you write a song that creates chocolate chips?
that magically creates chocolate chips.
Yes. Just that.
Here's a song I wrote about making chocolate chips come out of nowhere so you can make your cookies. Here's a song about chocolate chips, and I hope that you make them right. And when you're finished, I hope I can take a bite. But I'm in Australia, and I know I'm not gonna ever eat your yummy, 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 yummy chocolate chip cookies. TJ ate all the chocolate chips, and now you can't make your cookies anymore.
That was good.
Tony, I'm sorry that our interview was interrupted by this.
Best interruption ever.
I can't really do anything. We have to get back to the interview. We're talking about putting your balls out on the table. Sorry about that.
Love it, love it.
Okay.
I'm all about it.
As we close out here, so you know I do this radio show, and it's called The TJ Show, and I hang out with my friends Jabo and Kenny and Heather. Could you do some sort of a jingle? Not that I want to make this. I just, you're there in front of the piano. Jingles are very expensive. It would be nice to just get like a free jingle.
You got it.
Yeah, I mean, it could, whatever comes to mind, it would just be fun.
Okay, let me think about this. Hey, everybody, did you know there's the TJ Show? Hey, everybody, have you heard Heather, Kenny, and J-Bo? They're the best, they're the best, they're the best, and I listen every day 'cause I love it. Hey, 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 everybody, everybody, have you heard of the TJ Show?
Hey, look at that. That's an instant jingle. Oh, my goodness. I feel so amazingly honored. Now I feel embarrassed that I asked. I can't believe I put you through that. I can't believe I just asked you to do that. But now I'm happy that I did.
I don't know who's embarrassed more, you or me, but
This is what you get for hanging around radio, people.
Jeez, man, you get one shot at this, you know, if it's not right.
Well,
Everybody's going to go, that guy sucks.
no, you sound great.
No, I'm joking.
Tony Beliveau, it's great to be reconnected with you. And check out his brand new podcast with Evan, right?
Evan Hart.
Yep.
Yes, balls on the table.
It's going to be wherever podcasts are. You can search for it. And if you're curious, who is this guy? And you haven't heard of Crash Kings, go search for that song Mountain Man and see that first album. And I think you have 2 albums out there.
2 albums and an EP, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
TJ, thank you so much for the kind words, and thank you so much for doing this and having me. And I hope I can come back and do it again.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now, you call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.